I just ended up feeling like I had everything that I had hoped for when I was 16. And I like arrived at like adulthood and I didn't want any of it.
There was a time that I was happy, I thought you were too. But then we turned around and now all I see is you. I think you are the one for me, but I can't be too sure. I wasted all my energy on things I don't adore. I ventured to you in the valley, deep inside your heart. We talked and talked until our voices echoed in the park. I've seen the way you look at me, I knew it from the start. Please don't waste any energy, I know you are a star. Call me someday.
Often been a third table.
Shoot, you're right. Don't forget, I'm a woman.
It was so much. And he had a practical scarf, and he flipped it around his head like 10 times while everybody waited, and then he started showing.
Hey guys. Welcome back to my channel. So this week I tried a little bit different of a editing style. Instead of like shooting just one day of my week, I shot like just little snippets of like beautiful moments and things I enjoyed. I thought I'd do, I guess, like a solo podcast while I share about my week. So last week I talked about detaching from identities, and this week I want to talk about detaching from timelines. Oh, yeah, this has been a big one for me since I was like age 16. I've always had like a vision for like how I thought my life was going to look and what I thought I was going to do with my life. In high school, I got this messaging that like to be successful, you have to go to college, you um and like literally I've always centered my life around meeting a man. Since I was 16, I planned to go to college so that I could meet a man in college. We get married after college, buy a house, have kids, and do the whole like suburban thing. Cut to, I'm 22 and I got engaged on my 23rd birthday. That is a story for another day. But basically, I knew I should have said no and I didn't. Yeah, I broke up with him. I moved into my own house that I bought as a 26, 27-year old. Shortly after I moved into my house, I went to Wyoming and I like discovered an entirely new way of being. I didn't realize that people didn't just like go to the mountains like on the weekends. Like I never realized that people just like live in the mountains. I don't know, that just like never occurred to me that like I could just live in the mountains, and I'd always liked going outside and hiking and stuff, but I never thought about creating a life around that. And so I had like just moved into this brand new suburban home and I realized like, oh, actually suburban life is not for me. That I couldn't sell the house right away because I wanted to like, make a good investment, whatever, be an adult. And so yeah, I waited 3 years, then the pandemic happened. I sold my house and bought a camper, started traveling, and kind of like let go of the timeline of like, okay, by age X, I'm gonna have this many kids and I'm gonna have blah 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 blah. Because honestly, at 27, I didn't want kids. Definitely at 16, I thought I would have kids by 27. And then I got to 27 and like, wait, what was I thinking? Like, that was totally crazy. There's no way I'm having kids right now. And I honestly still kind of feel the same way. So, timelines as far as like when you want to get married, when you want to have kids, and all that, I'm like releasing that because this week I went to a concert in the park with a new friend, Paloma. Shout out. She's amazing. She's a little bit older than me and gave me some advice that really, really resonated. We're both like travelers, love to explore, and she expressed to me kind of like the same regret that I have about my 20s, where I spent my 20s in a career and doing all like the adult things that I thought I wanted, but didn't actually, and in relationships. So I was in a 6-year relationship from like 20 to 26, and then I got into another relationship that just recently ended from 27 to now. So my friend Paloma kind of expressed similar regret that I have about my 20s, which is that I didn't just spend my 20s just like fully fucking off and doing whatever I wanted. And I spent my 20s in relationships and in a career and not really spending any time discovering who I am or what I really want. I feel like sometimes I have felt like I'm like about 10 years late in doing all of that work. And that's just like totally made up based on like what? Based on what? Like why how am I 10 years late on finding out what I want and who I am? Like I don't actually believe that, you know? This is just like societal pressure that's put on us to have things figured out by a certain time, which is what I'm trying to detach from. So she told me, Paloma, in her 40s, to spend my 30s single, which is something that I have literally never considered in my life. Like, after getting out of this relationship, I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna spend some time, like, connecting with myself, healing, and then I'll start dating again and hopefully find my husband. I know that I really want to be married someday and I really want partnership, and that's like something that I really value. Like building a life with somebody is something that I've always wanted. If I look back to like my 16-year-old self, that's what's really true to me. It's like still really true to me is that I've always wanted a husband and partnership. I just have never considered spending my 30s single, but when she said it, it just really made a lot of sense. I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense. Like, I still have so many places that I want to see, so many places I want to travel. I'm building a career, and it just makes sense for me to really invest as much time as I can in myself and really explore my passions and interests and create a life around how I want to live. And so, like, I guess I'm decentering men. Which is like a buzz phrase that I've heard, but I haven't actually like internalized. A couple days ago, I heard on a podcast that Charlie XCX is like engaged, but doesn't ever talk about it because she's like decentered men so much that it's just like not central to her life. And I just love that so much because really that's how it should be. I really feel like I want to have a life where like I'm so fulfilled in myself and my career and my friendships, in my family and myself, my relationship with God and nature, that my significant other is like an addition to my life, but he has his own world as well. And like we just are like mirrors for each other and like a place for growth and mutual support. But I don't want to make finding a partner central to my life anymore. Like for the first time in my life, I am releasing the need to be partnered, to be paired. Like I'm just ready to just like live. That's what I wanted to talk about this week. I had a really great week. I've worked like 5 days in a row the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And like I realize like most people do that and I just it's not for me. Like I need more time to rest. 2 days off a week is like not enough for me. So I was really happy because this week I only worked 4 days and I've had a full 3 days off and I'm just like coming off of this is my third day and I'm just so I feel so like refreshed and relaxed and happy that I got to have that time to just be with myself and rest and recharge after a lot of weeks of yeah working in service. I'm interacting with people a lot and it just takes like time for me to recuperate from that. This was the first week that it really started to feel like summer, and I really leaned into that and did all the summer things. I laid out and tanned, took a shower. I started using my outdoor shower, which only has cold water, but it's actually like so lovely in the summer. I'm so grateful to have it. And I also went to the lake and hung out in my floaty and read on the lake. I went to a concert in the park.
That's exactly why I like this moment. Ooh, free stuff.
Yeah, I played with my aunt's kitty. I house sat for her while she went camping.
Yeah. Just a tiny baby.
Made myself breakfast and danced in my living room. It was just like a really lovely week. It's been a long time since I've spent a summer here, and so just to re-experience it and live it as an adult is really exciting. I think that's all I have for you guys this week, really. Oh, I got a new camera. I've been really wanting an old digital camera. I asked my aunt if she had something, and she went through her shed and found this old Handycam from like 2008 or 2009, and I really love it. So I had to go on Amazon and get a new battery for it and some like converters or whatever, blah blah blah, logistics admin. And so yeah, I got it working and I'm so stoked because I really like the aesthetic, the effects. It feels very 2008, which is around the time I graduated high school. And that's really just like peak millennium. I think we could, like, I really think we could have stopped at DVDs. Like, I really don't need all these streaming services. If you watch my video, Y2K all day, you know, I'm not really a fan of modern times. And yeah, so I don't know if I'll continue doing this format of video. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this style of editing. And yeah, I love you so much. Have a great week. I'll see you next Friday.
There was a time that I was happy, I thought you were too. But then we turned around and now all I see is you. I think you are the one for me, but I can't be too sure.